What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lean in, bitch. I'm here with Chad, who you probably just saw for the Real Housewives of Atlanta talk for Portia and her shenanigans this past week, but we are done talking about that. Uh, for real, for real. And we are
For real, for
here
real.
to talk about Legendary Season 2. I did not recap the season 1. I watched it, so I'm very caught up and know what's going on. But Chad and I both share a similar dialogue and wanted to come in and lean in and talk about this show. So what's going on, Chad? It's Friday. It's early for you. Well, for me, especially, but for you getting into some things. So
Yes.
what's going on? How you doing?
Not much. I'm good. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be talking about something in our era
Right.
of our life. So I mean, I'm excited to talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, we did not. We should have did this last week, but we didn't. We're gonna break this up, the first 4 episodes into 2 videos. So this is only gonna cover episode 1 and 2, which was kind of just an introduction to the houses and essentially how they did it this season. I can't remember how they did it last season, but this season they had 10 houses total, and there were
Hmm.
5 houses on one episode and 5 houses on each episode. So I guess from just these 2 episodes combined, who were your like immediate favorites that you liked?
Um, so it's called the Grand March, and of course, like you said, they split it up into two
Oh, yeah,
places.
yeah,
Grand March one was the first five houses. Grand
yeah,
March two was the second.
yeah.
So just to put it all together for the Grand Marches, I would say immediately the Garcons stood out,
Yeah,
the Balenciaga stood out, the Tishis really stood out.
yeah.
Um, who else? I enjoyed the Muglers, but I wanted
Hmm.
them to bring it a little better. But I
Hmm.
still enjoyed the Muglers. So those are my favorite off the top.
I agree. I did. So I actually listed because I listed 6 houses out of the 10. I said
Hmm.
Tichi. I said Balenciaga. I said Garcon. I said Orichi, Mugler, and Icon. I did like them from those episodes. Now, when we get to later
Yeah.
on, some things changed, but I did like them, like just from their presentation initially, and so yeah, like how do you feel about the houses this season versus last season? Like, how would you compare them if you could?
I think the houses this season are a little more well known in
Okay.
ballroom like right now.
Yeah.
Last season it was, I don't know. We had the House of Saint Laurent, you had the House of Lambon, you had the House of Ninja, which are
Yeah.
all iconic houses in their own
Yeah.
right. But I feel like the houses this season are a little more of the ones we see a lot more online, the ones we see a lot more and our friends. Like
Mm-hmm.
I see the name Garcon on damn near everybody on my friends list.
True.
So I think that they're just a little more visible than the houses from first season.
Okay. I agree. A lot of these houses this season I expected to see last season. And so when I
Yeah,
didn't see them
same.
last season, I was just like, oh shit. And I thought maybe a lot of those houses last season were houses of this season under new names. I was like, well, maybe they just,
Oh.
maybe, I mean, I don't know. And I still feel that way. I feel like some of those houses I had never heard of like that. There were some,
Hmm.
yeah, but some I was just like, okay. But I mean, they did well. But when I compare the 2 houses, and this is like me jumping ahead a little bit, I feel like I enjoy some of the houses this season, but overall, last season, although I didn't know who they were more interesting to watch. Like I didn't know what to expect, and I think with the houses that we see this season, we have such a high expectations because we know who they are. And if I would compare the two, I just really feel like the houses last season, when as it relates to the TV show, and I'm not sure if it's production and the way that they're going with the show, but I really feel like they focus more on ballroom and Vogue last season. This season, I feel like
Hmm.
they are trained dancers. A lot of train, like they can train as a unit, like unity. They look well, but I feel like last season was just different as it relate like with the houses, and so I wasn't really too impressed with the first 2 episodes. Honestly, like The first two episodes only. I really wasn't, but I don't know. That's just my takeaway.
So I'm in the middle. I really liked last season, but I think I liked last season more so because it was new, it was
It was
fresh.
new. Okay.
And it was just one of those things as to where it was like, okay, we're getting to see ballroom
Yeah.
on a different platform. We're getting to see, different elements of ballroom because a lot of people when they think of ballroom, a lot of people that are not familiar with it, they automatically just think about Vogue. And
Yeah.
there are so many different categories
Yeah.
in ballroom that they get showcased. So I like the balance that this season is given, but I do think that last season was a little more interesting overall so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah. So far, like I didn't feel. I mean, like you said, it was new, but I guess coming back season two, you want to come back and you want to like push through. You want to slay, and I feel like
Right.
it was a little shaky for me, for everybody. But I was glad to see familiar faces on the TV screen. I was like, okay, this is great. Like,
Yeah.
obviously now I have more of a reason to watch because I'm like, I know these people, I follow these people, and I want to support
Right.
these people. So how did you feel? How do you feel about the judges? Because all the judges are back. Everybody's back this
Hmm.
season. And I know like last season people was like, Megan should be up there, but they brought her back. And then Law Roach, the people he was controversial, obviously Mia, and then obviously Leomi. So like, what's your thoughts on the judges this year and just
Who's Nia?
let's say Mia,
No, Jamila.
Ja-
I'm
Jamila
like,
child.
who's Mia?
I knew it was a Mia. I was like, wait, yeah, Jamila. My
Jamila.
bad. If you watch this girl, my
Jamila
bad.
Jamil.
Yeah,
Look, mind you, I still don't know who she is really, but yeah.
I don't know who she is really either. But I mean, I don't know who she is like for real. But I mean, like she's obviously, I don't know. Whatever they say she is on the TV screen is who she is. I
Look,
guess,
that's what
chat.
she is. But no, the judges. So here's the thing: when it comes to the judges, it's still a TV show,
Of
so
course.
they have to, kind of do things that are going to attract viewers and pull from different little sections of entertainment, so they can get fans from different places. Because there are so many people that I know don't know anything about ballroom,
Mm-hmm.
that don't know anything about the LGBT community as a whole. But since Megan is a judge, she's grabbing fans, that
Of
want to
course.
watch because Megan is on there. So I think that it was a good thing to keep all the judges from season one and bringing them back, because it creates to me, it creates a good, like, how can I put it, like a good standing with familiar faces. Like people get to continue to
It.
see and grow with the judges, because I think that a lot of people are
That's true.
warming up now to the fact that, Jamila is not anybody that we really know. But it's like, okay, well, she's here again. They're getting to know her a little
Yeah.
more. Same with Megan. But everybody else is a part of the LGBT community with, Law and Laomi.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and normally the guest judges kind of mix in. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think that is good that they brought them all back. They all, to me, don't really know what the hell they be talking about, except for Laomi, because she's the only one that really knows the essence of the categories,
Right.
and what to really look for. But together they make it all interesting. People don't like Law. I like Law. I think that he gives a real perspective of that person that's on the ballroom panel of judges. Like if you ever watched a real ball,
Oh
you
yeah.
always
Yeah.
have that. You always have that one judge that is going to try it regardless. It could be because they got girlfriends that's voguing or participating,
Mm-hmm.
but you always have that one person that just has to be the bitch. And Law kind of he gives that. So I appreciate all of them. I like it.
No, I agree. Like last season I was like, man, but just like I think we talked about this with the Real Housewives of Atlanta with the cast, like, a lot of sometimes the issue is that you're not allowing the cast or whatever to grow. And so in this case, together, so when they're last season it was fresh, they all were fresh to the panel, right? And so over
Hmm.
time, you grow chemistry with that. And so I don't want to. I didn't want to see any of them leave. I was actually glad they all were
Agreed.
back because they have a
Yeah.
guest judge, so you have that extra wild card, like the Princess
Yeah.
of Pop. We're gonna talk about later that joins the panel. But so I get it. I was fine. I do think that Law sometimes. I think that like he is. I feel like some moments should be about TV, but some moments need to be about the competition. And he's like,
Yeah.
everything for him is a moment, in my opinion. And so,
Yeah.
he does represent ballroom. You know, ballroom. There's always one judge like that anywhere. But in
Yeah.
ballroom, that's usually almost a whole damn panel. You know, because they're just that's it's the gay culture. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have a good balance, and like you say, you have Leomi, you have Megan, and you have Jamila. So who yeah just there, and then I wanted to talk about the house mothers this season. So last season,
Hmm.
what I can say is much better than last season are the house mothers. I'm not taking away from Jamari and the others and stuff like that, and Erica from Lavan, but I just feel like there's so much. They give mother vibes, like not
Yeah.
only for their house, but they seem like to be good sports, at least for the television show. I don't know if they told them that they need to watch their attitude, because I don't think they did anyway. Because something, but at the same time, I feel like they're respected, they're fun to watch, and they have such great personality, especially like Shannon and what's her name from Teachy. I love that mother from Teachy,
Gia. I love Gia.
Gia, and then I think what's his name from Icon, light skin. Is
So
that
I
his name?
think that he actually is. He goes by Father, Father Jamil
What
Icon.
is what I'm saying? Yeah, the house father. I'm saying like the house mother, house father. I'm sorry. Like
Yeah.
he is basically like I enjoy him, and then obviously Stasha. So like just to compare last season, do you feel the same? How do you feel about the house mothers and just how they are with their houses in this season versus last season?
I think this season they are focusing more on the father and mother aspect.
Yeah,
I don't think that. I think last season they kind of course, they had to introduce it, but it
yeah,
was more so just I'm the house mother, I'm the house father.
yeah,
This season is more so you get a real grasp of what the house father and the house mother is,
yeah,
and like you said, this season it just kind of exudes it like really natural. Like you can
yeah,
tell Shannon is the mother, you can tell Stasha
yeah,
is the mother, you can
yeah,
tell Jamil is the father, you can tell that Jason Prodigy is the mother, you can tell that they all are like the overseers of their house. So I really appreciate that that they're highlighting because I mean that's important that you really get to see that these are the leaders. You know, this is who these people look up to. And, you know, I think that that's really, really important compared to last season. We didn't really get to see it in depth. So it's not their fault that we didn't get to see it, but I do like that we got to see it this season.
I agree with that. So what I'm speaking to specifically is like so last season I love House of Love Ann, but I feel like the reason why they didn't win was because of their mother. Because I feel like their mother was just so like she didn't know how to let her ego go. You know, it's a competition and it's ballroom, but it's also TV, and you want to be likable. You have to be. You know, Jamari showed. You know, when he won House of Ballmate, he showed how he would fight for his family. And I'm not saying Erica didn't, but that little issue that they had like towards the end of the season last season, where they was like
Hmm.
arguing, they was walking some category, and she was doing the most. She was doing the most. I just feel like they're a lot likable this season. They are showcasing. I'm glad you said that. I'm just glad. Like I'm just enjoying them a lot more this season. And I know
Yeah.
Barbara, and I knew who the house mothers and fathers were last season myself. You know what I'm saying? But even for someone that knows, like I just really couldn't get with them like that last season.
Right.
It just seemed to be a bit of too much of a battle. And like I said, this is a TV show, so if it's mainstream, it's HBO Max. It's only so much catness we want to see, and I feel like it was a lot of that last season, in my opinion.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of it last season.
So then let's talk about the actual bottom two houses. And then so I don't know who I can't remember the bottom two was, but I know because I know you had them
Chanel
written
and
down.
Prodigy.
Chanel and Prodigy were in the first episode, right?
Yeah.
And then in the second episode, it was
Second episode, it was House of Lux.
okay. Okay. Did you agree with the bottoms?
So I did not agree that the Prodigy should have went home.
Okay.
On the, they finished either ninth or tenth. I don't know how they really would classify it, but
Yeah.
the Prodigy should not have went home. I don't know. It just felt like it was shade at the door for the Prodigies. I thought that they did well. I thought that it was cohesive. And with me knowing Jason personally,
Yeah.
it was. I want to say it was a sense of biasness for me, honestly, just because I know Jason, but I also genuinely felt that they did well, and they didn't deserve to go home. They didn't, not that quick.
I was surprised. I was surprised that they were going home. Actually, I was very surprised. Um, who was the other person? I didn't. This is so far back. So who was the other house they went home to on the other episode?
It was Chanel first, and then Prodigy, and then House of Lux.
Chanel didn't give it to me. I'm sorry. Now,
Chanel didn't give it to me at
Chanel,
all.
when they came out there, I was just like, that's why. And I think they were one of the earlier houses that went, I believe. And so I was.
Yes,
That's why I was like, oh, this is the season right here, like as an opening moment.
yeah.
I don't remember the critiques from the judges, honestly, but I just know I was not here for it because I actually put that in my notes. Not here for it.
Yeah, I did not like the Chanels at all. I was okay with them going home first. Um, yeah, they didn't give it to me. And from me knowing the House of Chanel, from what I know of the House of Chanel, they've always had like some heavy hitters. And they were kind of at one point like a Banji house,
Yeah.
but still like a respected house and still like really, people fuck with the House of Chanel. So I was really shocked to see what they presented. But that also goes back to me wondering how exactly they pick which people are going to represent the house.
I was
Because
just
I'm
gonna say
like,
that. I was just gonna say that. I was talking about that with my boyfriend, and we was just like, I wonder how. And my best friend was like, how do they pick the individuals? Like, because these houses are large, they're huge. So like,
yeah,
how
a bunch of
do they have to
people.
audition? And especially if you know the houses, I know you're probably thinking like, no shade to the people they have up there, but why wasn't this person in the house? And maybe that's just a
Yes.
bias, but I agree. Like I be thinking that like, some of these people like, especially the Balenciagas. I know a lot of Balenciagas and garçons, and so I was curious to see like how the picking is. I'm not sure, but that maybe has something to do with it too. Just the individuals they decide to represent, but also I mean, at the same time, it's a group effort. It's a group performance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So honestly, as a group, you want to shine. I feel like a lot of the critiques in the first two episodes, they would like the judges would highlight one or two people and then leave
Yeah.
everybody else out. So that would mean that somebody, I guess, as a group, like, and I get it when you perform as a group, it can be difficult to like you don't want to outshine anybody, but at the same time, you can only outshine somebody if the whole group ain't giving it as a group.
Yeah. Agreed.
And outshining somebody is also a bad thing because that means you may have given too much. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's a weird thing. We're positioned to be in my opinion. So yeah.
Yeah. Chanel was not it. Sorry, Chanel's.
And
Like, sorry,
then
Chanel.
so yeah, the Chanel's and the House of Prodigy went home. I was okay with Chanel. I wasn't okay with Prodigy, but I mean, hey, it was what it was. The battles. Do you have any thoughts about the actual battles itself? Like,
The battle. So I know Jason picked geez, what was her name?
I can't even.
Actually, I think I have it. I think I have it in my notes. Her name was,
Let me see.
let's see, episode,
Let me just go to this page. Yeah.
because it was out of Icon and Prodigy. And geez, I forgot her name, but
It
I
was
feel
the it
like
was
she
it was
shouldn't
the
have.
girl. It was the girl.
Is her
I
name
can't
Cam Cam or is her name Deja Vu?
I can't think of her name, but I can't think of her name because I don't even I see his page, but I can't think of her name. But yeah,
I want to say it's Deja Vu. I want to say it's Deja Vu, but I don't feel like she was the right one to battle.
yeah,
And of course, I'm not a vulgar, so I don't want to go too far into what who they should have picked, who they shouldn't have. But
yeah,
from what I saw, I don't think she was the right one to be chosen
yeah.
to save the house. I should say that.
Okay. And then this, well, I guess we already talking about that child. I would say something. I feel like, do you not that you find anybody attractive, but do you think there's some cuties in this season?
So I think Khalik Balenciaga is really handsome. Um, who else? Hmm. Of course, Jason is attractive, but Jason is
Hmm.
gone now. I can't think of any of the other ones. Father Jamil is okay. Not really, not really my type, but he's cool.
That's from
Um,
Icon, right?
from Icon.
I think he's so cute, but you know who? You know, I think he's the cutest actually.
Ooh,
Diego from Mugler, the tall one.
Diego.
He was the one that
Is
I
that the
think
one? His mom
his mom
passed.
had passed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, he's
I,
handsome. He's
I was
handsome.
just like, well, come on over, let me give you a hug.
Yeah, he's
uh,
handsome.
yeah, but and then so based off these two episodes, we're gonna do predictions. Okay, who do you
Okay.
think will be top two? Because when we get to the end of the season, we're gonna look back and see what actually happened. But from the beginning, just two episodes, based off these two, who did you think we're gonna win, and who's your pick, your top two picks, or you gonna do a top three?
Ooh, this is kind of hard. Yeah, so I'm gonna do top three. I'm gonna stick with
Okay.
the Tishis definitely, the Balenciagas, and the
Mm-hmm.
Garcons.
Dang, we can't. We could basically have the same damn three people.
Uh-huh. I mean, they are
I
just
just
so
they are they
ahead
are.
of the pack. I hate to say it, but they are just ahead of the pack.
It's something. I'm gonna tell you this. I know Stasha and I know them. It's something that I feel like the Garcons is going to fall in because last season, Lon Fan was doing well and they flopped at the bottom one time because of something. I can't remember what it was. And so I just like when we talk about episode 4, I'll tell you why I don't think that the Garcons will be in the top 3 because something happened. But I'm going to put Tichi, Balenciaga, and Mugler.
Okay,
I
that's
will put them
because
there.
I was that's perfect because I would if I didn't have the
Yeah.
Garcons, I would switch out the Garcons for the Mugler.
I think Garcons will definitely be in the top like 4. They'll be up there, but I just and I'm not saying I want them to fail, but I just it's some stuff like I said we're gonna talk about in episode 4 that I was just like, so we'll
Hmm.
see. I don't know,
We'll see.
but we are actually going to lean out on this one, and we're going to come back with episodes 3 and 4, where we talk about the real stuff, because that is where it got really juicy, in my opinion. That's when they started to
Hmm.
pick up. So we're gonna get out of here, and we will
Okay.
see y'all on the next recap. All right.